Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you game number 3 of a best of 5 for 3rd place in the BSL. It's Sziky going up against ZhanHun, and Sziky is on match point. He's up 2-0. If you haven't watched the series so far, it's been pretty crazy actually. That first game just so epically long. The second game, Sziky with an amazing comeback, playing just Mutaling into Ultra. What a wild game. Like it was a very supply blocked 35 supply against 70 at one point, and he still managed to come back. So some great phenomenal play so far here from Sziky. We're going to see what he can do on Monopoly against ZhanHun. The games have been close enough that like it definitely doesn't feel like this has to be a 3-0 blowout, although that last one was a bit more convincing in some ways. A lot had gone wrong for Sziky, but he still just kind of wiggled his way right out of it. So ZhanHun here, starting on the right side, is a 3-player map. Going to scout Sziky first in the bottom left. And yeah, Sziky has been doing like 9-pool openers, but there is an Overlord here. And let's see. Is it going to be like Overpool? Yes, it's going to be Overpool here. So that is a more economic type of version. Like the last game, his lings were not quite able to get in. Now the probe comes down, sees what's what. Looks like ZhanHun did want to go for a Nexus first, but I think once you scout the Overpool, aren't you oh no, I guess he... Yeah, I think what we'll see is a Forge and Cannon pretty soon here. You don't necessarily need to make it right away. You can save a little bit of minerals just by mining a little bit longer there. But he's going to go ahead, throw down that Forge, and yeah, he'll throw down a Cannon and then his Nexus. And it's a pretty economic opening against the Overpool. Pretty safe and everything as well. So nothing too crazy. Definitely things that we have seen before in the matchup. Or in fact, I'm sorry, I think I got this wrong. It's Nexus and then Cannon. You know, you have to have every little thing timed out in PvZ for... you know, just stopping the various all-in attacks and whatnot that you might see from your opponent. Any Zerglings getting into your main base can be just completely brutal. Now, the hatchery goes up. Just 4 lings being made. Going to chase this probe back for now. Don't think there's really much reason for him to go across the map, to be honest. Like, maybe you put some lings outside the front or something, but chasing the probe, I think, is going to be a high priority. Actually, very weird to see him just run past. Maybe he thinks he can get by here. Normally you see a gateway go up and then a couple probes get pulled, so maybe he realizes that's not occurring here. He throws down the gate, but it is a little bit late, but the probes get down. But, yeah, the Sziky Cannon gets canceled, so maybe ZhanHun a little bit late on that probe pull, because that is something you're supposed to hold pretty clearly, I think. But either way, Sziky going for the double expansion afterwards. And... yeah, okay, so... we're just going to have to wait a little bit here to see what Sziky wants to do, right? Because as far as ZhanHun goes, like, he has to get rid of these Zerglings. It's very rare to see anything other than Stargate, and especially when lings are in your main, you literally can't do it. Because your opponent could just abuse that immediately. Oh my god, he kills that probe. Very, very annoying. Things already going wrong for ZhanHun here. Okay, Cybernetic's core is up, still going after these probes. And, well, okay. It looks like, I mean, we'll see how much more he can actually get done with that. It's like kind of crazy to see 2 lings deal this much damage inside the main base, but I guess I can relate. A couple speedlings in the Terran main is pretty tough, even though this isn't fast. Slowlings, obviously a lot easier to clean up with the Marines rather than Zealots. Now, ZhanHun going across with the Zealot here. Forces a few more lings. I don't think he can get too much done. Just goes into this little nook behind the mineral patch. He's going to get done whatever it is he can. He targets down the more hurt Zergling. Beautifully done. Some nice micro there from ZhanHun. Actually, just wrecking these 4 lings. So kills 4 lings off. Like, you got to feel pretty happy with that. We have the Stargate coming up as expected. And, well, another Zealot coming across for a bit of harassment. Seems like a little bit sloppier game than the other two so far, right? The Lings not being blocked from getting into the main. We've already seen some damage from them, even though it's only a couple getting in. Oh my god, he loses another one. Oh my god. Okay, kills the Ling, but like that's pretty painful. You should not be losing probes still at this point. But, you know, it happens to the best Protoss. It's just... It's very hard to deal with those Speedlings. Speedlings are just so reactive, so fast, deal damage so quickly. Now, +1 air attacks as well as a Corsair on the way. Spire over here for Sziky. We don't know yet if he's going to go Mutas. He's done a good job with them so far. Oh, that was almost like a really nice drone drill. It didn't quite work out. Look at this single file. Okay, he does get 2 Lings on top of the Zealot this time, so he will be able to knock this out, but the Zealots have been pretty annoying so far, I have to say. Now, +1 has been started. Some more Zealots walking out across the map. But Sziky seems to have enough Zerglings that I'm not too afraid for him right now. The Corsair going through the middle. For those of you who didn't know, there is a big island in the middle of this map. We never really see it taken, though. Not yet, at least. Hopefully one day. Monopoly seems like kind of a cool map. Now, the Ling's coming out, and of course, with the speed upgrade, it's hard to make your Zealots really efficient here. You can't pull back nearly as much. Some okay micro, but just Sziky rampages through there. Hydralisk Den coming up here already. We have that Evolution Chamber coming also. Adding those gates, getting those Corsairs out, and yeah, you know, it definitely does not look like it's any sort of Mutalisk opener, just a few Scourge. Kind of the old standard of the matchup, though I feel like we've seen more Mutas lately. Oh god. No cannon yet. That was actually dangerous for a moment. If you lose any of your first Corsairs, you get in a lot of trouble in this matchup. You really need to stack them up, and that's definitely something we saw go wrong for ZhanHun a lot in that last game against Sziky. But it's not a Mutalisk build anyways. Now, that being said, you can go from Hydra into Muta if your opponent loses his Corsairs. That can be a great play to snipe High Templars. And yeah, now with Zealot legs done, +1 not quite done, but almost. It does look like ZhanHun going to go ahead and move out onto the map. +1 air attacks almost done as well. Another gate being added. Probably will see quite a few more popping up shortly. The 4 gates here. 1 at that natural. Not a lot of action at the moment. This is like the massing moment, right? Like a few speedlots have been running around. You see over on Sziky's side, he's starting to really pump out a lot of Hydras. Storm is a little over halfway done for ZhanHun. Adding those gateways. Kind of, again, a quiet moment here while they get into that next level of tech. They're both kind of unattackable. I guess ZhanHun is a little bit more attackable right now, but not sure that you're really going to get too much done with these Hydras. Storm's going to finish pretty quickly. 2 cannons. He's not upgrading out of the Forge, so if you lose it, it's not the end of the world, honestly. And, of course, you got to be careful. If he pops out with, like, 10 Zealots, you're going to lose a lot of Hydras to that. Now, Psystorm is done. We'll see if he actually wants to do one. This is, like, I feel like Sziky's almost baiting for a Psystorm here. Like, I don't think he cares too much about a non-upgrading Forge, right? Gets up and, yeah, see that? Baits in the Psystorm and then runs up and snipes the High Templar. Now, he lost some of these Corsairs. I wasn't watching that. I was kind of watching for the tactics at that natural. But losing some of the Corsairs, immediately Sziky started 6 Mutas. So he's getting another set of Scourge as well. And it looks like we're going to have a little hit squad of Mutas to go after some of these High Templars. He's already picked off 1 with his Hydras. And now any more he can get, he's going to be absolutely golden. Right? You really need the Psy Storms to help the Zealots to actually beat the Hydras. Because once you get up to big masses of Hydras, the Zealots just don't beat them anymore. You get very microable. You get kind of this critical mass of a ball that can shoot them so much. Now, this one Corsair actually gets caught. He's going to keep one Scourge on it. That's going to keep that one busy until it gets back to a cannon, or possibly even catch it if he misclicks it all here. The Muta's kind of patrolling around. The Zealots are out in the middle of the map, so he may be looking to go up and deal some damage to them. Let's see. Yeah, finds those Zealots, and just going to start putting the damage on. He can't hit the High Templars now, and you know about the Mutas already. May as well damage the Zealots a bit. These High Templars just kind of waiting. Dragoon range is on the way. A bunch of Dragoons being produced as well. Many Hydras out on the map, as well as some Lurkers coming up. So definitely Observer is going to be important here also. You have that Robo out, so no problem there, at least as of yet. That is a lot of things you're trying to spend gas on, though, right? Like, you're getting some upgrades still. We see that +1 is still spinning. You're going to be pumping out Dragoons, hopefully in pretty large numbers, against the Hydra Lurker, and then, of course, Psy Storms. And then, you know, an Observer costs half as much as a High Templar. So if you start getting those picked off, that becomes very problematic. Now, Sziky coming out across the map. He is down a fair amount of supply, but look at this, a dive in on the High Templar. The Mutas get absolutely devastated, and he kills just... Oh, no, he ends up getting a second High Templar thanks to that Lurker Spike, adding a little bit of damage in there as well. Oh, man, that's actually very painful. And now we have this containment up. A contain like this is so scary to break out of. Like, you need to clear your wall most of the time. It looks like he's going to start clearing these eggs. He has a lot of Dragoons, but not that many High Templars. Okay, he's going to have 4 Psy Storms total. Starting to kill some of his own buildings here. Wants to help out with that so he can actually get out. And, in fact, he might need to push back at least one Lurker, because you don't want to lose +1 armor right before it finishes. Definitely not a good move. Not something to be recommended. Sziky, by the way, has taken a 4th base over here. Now, here he goes. Rushes in a little bit. Actually pretty efficient there for ZhanHun. He's up a good 35+ supply. Zealot's coming out to the front. Okay, he did get that +1 armor, so at least that finished. He can lose the Forge now. The spread is pretty awesome from Sziky, as you see. A lot of Lurkers. They're all at least 1 Psy Storm apart from each other as well. As Zealot comes out, and maybe that was just a scout to see exactly where the Lurkers are at. You can see where the spines originate. Throws a storm down. Ooh, these are some beautiful storms, and as he starts to thin everything out, some Zealots start to come out. The Dragoon's trying to punch a hole through this containment. If he can actually wreck this containment, he may be able to do a counterattack out onto the map, as this is most of Sziky's army. And it looks like he will, in fact, kill everything. The Zealots have pretty much all died, but the Dragoons can very easily finish off the rest of these Lurkers. Sziky has more Hydras coming up. Oh, they actually attack an Observer there for a second, but then decide better of it, going after the Dragoons now as well. A few Zealots coming out, which can tank a lot of Hydra shots, but the Hydras kill Dragoons very quickly. He might actually have enough to just kill everything here. Sziky's macro just bonkers, almost breaks through, but it looks like at the end ZhanHun has just enough to push him back. He does start his 3rd Nexus, and very importantly so. He needs to get another base up ASAP, but this is not a very long rush distance from Sziky, right? Like, Sziky, if he starts sending units this way, he has this bridge as a defensive point of a possible counter, and other than that, he's just got this one area. And it's, again, it's not that far, so it looks like he's going to be coming in this direction. If he can knock down the 3rd base, that's basically game. Like, you need this 3rd base as ZhanHun. Now, let's see. Ling, Lurker, Hydra coming up right now. Lots of Zealots and Dragoons, but we see no Psy Storms. Looks like 1 or 2 are going to be coming down. Being able to throw down... Okay, that's an excellent Psy Storm, no doubt. The second Psy Storm, not nearly as good. Barely dealing damage, in fact. The Zealots start to get shredded. They were doing a decent job at the beginning, but not quite enough. And, oh, God, he's going to lose everything here, unfortunately. All the High Templars are picked off, just about all the Dragoons as well. Reinforcements come out from ZhanHun, but Sziky the same, bringing out as many Hydras as he possibly can right now. And ZhanHun is like barely holding onto this base. He really needs to stabilize at this point. Gonna lose another High Templar, unfortunately. You just have to build up that High Templar count. Look at this. 6 Lurkers, 10 Hydras on the way. The army of Sziky continues to maintain its same quality, whereas for ZhanHun, barely anything left over. He's gonna have to give up this 3rd base location. Ouch. Ouch. All right, well, the 3rd is going to fall. This, unfortunately, is looking like a 3-0. Sziky's supply has now passed ZhanHun's as well. You can see he just doesn't have a lot that he's working with. It's not like he has an additional upgrade. He's had 2 upgrades for a long time now. He doesn't have, like, a lot of High Templars. He doesn't have a lot of Dragoons. It's a brutal position, and I think Sziky from here, it's a very straightforward victory. Just macro, and eventually you're going to burn through this economy, which is basically gone for ZhanHun. As you can see, not really mining at this point. He's got a few minerals left over. The amount of Lurkers sitting at his 3rd base is too much. We should be seeing GG any minute ago. It's like, I mean, at this point, you're not mining, and you know your opponent has like 4 bases, so... yeah, this game is over. It's been a great BSL, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little bonus 3rd place match. Very well played from Sziky. I think you got to watch out for him next season, no doubt about it. And that is going to be that. Well played season here, ZhanHun. I definitely hope to see and cast him some more. Very well done. And seriously, GG.